Conservatives, the party that brought you renaming literally everything, all the exhibits at the Smithsonian, the Gulf of America, mountains, all of that. They think only they are the ones that get to rebrand, not Cracker Barrel, okay? Don't you dare change that iconic logo you have. Unfortunately, they did. And conservatives are very mad about it. And so they previously had this old man leaning on a barrel, which I think was Joe Biden in his 40s? But anyway, it's become the rightmost logo. And they say the reason they did it is that they want it to be rooted even more closely to the iconic barrel shape and word mark that started it all. And I will say, you can do whatever PR speak you want about why you did a logo change. Can we bring that up? It's not more rooted in the barrel shape when you took away the barrel. I think the barrel is always going to be the most barrel thing. But anyway, I just want to be very clear. But simultaneously, I think this is a really bad new logo. I think it's terrible, but not for any of the reasons they're right. The writer, they think this is some sort of trans thing or something, or that it's racist. They literally are saying stuff like, so Donald Trump Jr., who has nothing else going on, all the grifts his family runs or whatever, he says WTF because woke war room is implying that this is the gays did this, and I don't know what that's supposed to be about. Why would what is woke about the new logo? I don't get it. But other people are implying that it's Benny Johnson said it's to get rid of the white guy or whatever. Yeah, all you needed to do was change the logo and Cracker Barrel will no longer be associated with white people. That's all it takes, Benny Johnson. So look, should they have changed it? I don't think so. But I don't think this is woke. I don't think this is DEI. I think this is just how everything has been sort of sterilized and made less colorful and less iconic and unique. This is corporations being super careful and just wanting something that's not too like not too distinct, not too unique. I mean, and also I would say, what brand wants to be associated with an old person sitting on a chair? That's not really bringing in the young restaurant goers, I would imagine. But anyway, what do you make of this? Do you disagree? Do you like the new logo, Yaz?
No, I hate it. I hate it actually. Yeah, we literally just talked about how the right wants to rebrand the big beautiful bill and they're fine with that, but this is what they're mad about. And yeah, I don't really understand their logic as to why the right is so mad about this. But yeah, I'm kind of mad about this, not for any kind of woke reasons, although eventually, I feel like everything can kind of, be distilled down to an attack on capitalism, So this feels very capitalistic to me, and it's exactly for the reasons that you were talking about. Everything has to be beiged out, everything has to be simplified to the point that it is uninteresting and there's no character anymore, and it bothers me, right? I've been wearing more color as a form of my own silent protest because I'm not living in this gray world anymore. The cars everywhere you look, they're just gray and white and black. My next car is not going to be a black car anymore. I don't know. It's just little things that that used to bring joy to this world, and they're just taking away the joy from all these things. You go into restaurants, they just black and white everywhere you go. Yep. Nowhere has any kind of character, or they have that fake corporate character where they do all the things, but it's not real. There's no authenticity there. But I will say, Cracker Barrel probably could stand to rebrand a little bit. I don't know if this is the way to do it, but if you've been to a Cracker Barrel lately, which I actually have, it's not what it used to be. Cracker Barrel didn't used to be just this very, country, small town kind of place. It was kind of a bustling place. There was one that we used to go to between Connecticut and Massachusetts. That was I don't know, that was kind of a place to be for a little bit. But they could afford to rebrand a little bit, because I do feel like the brand overall is a little run down. And these are my thoughts on Cracker Barrel.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's tough to think about how you'd rebrand it, because you want your brand to seem young and exciting. And if I were to ask you to list the most boring things in existence, crackers and barrels would be at the top of that list. It's difficult to start off with. I would also say they
always had the icon of the rocking chairs on the front porch, which is very leisurely, and it does conjure up images of elderly people
falling asleep. In furniture. That's the image you get.
It is not very exciting.
Yeah, and I would also say
keep that essence somehow, and bring in some young folks. That would be ideal.
I don't know. I do think, like, I wouldn't take rebranding advice necessarily from the MAGAs. I mean, have you seen the Oval Office? Have you seen the Rose Garden? Have you
It
seen what
looks
they've
like the
done to this place?
Kremlin. Like he made it look like the Kremlin
It's so
and then he
ugly.
took out the roses. Like, you know what I mean? Like this is exactly what I'm talking about. And also that cyber truck that I see driving around everywhere, it is upsetting because it looks like a giant refrigerator and I hate it. I think I'm mad at it for making my town uglier.
Yeah, I think that the MAGA movement for some reason is just run by people with no taste whatsoever. Meanwhile, you look in Yaz's background, she's got cool accent wallpaper, interesting use of textures, a little bit of plants to add a natural
Thank
touch.
you.
Maybe get her in charge of rebranding both Cracker Barrel and the Oval Office.
Yeah, this is
Any
my side hustle now. So this is what but you need it. You need something to like make you happy because everything else is less happy than colors.
Exactly.